Hi, everyone. Welcome to the information session. We're very excited to be here with you today to talk about a new interactive learning opportunity that is focused on juvenile probation transformation. My name's Annie Sulcic. I'm a consultant with Harley Consulting Group. I'm here with my colleague, Tara Beener, and for this project, we are working on behalf of the Annie E. Casey Foundation. The Juvenile Probation Transformation Training Series is an online training series made up of 7 courses that all together focus on what probation transformation is, why it is important, and perhaps most importantly, what it can and does look like in practice on the ground. The courses are designed to highlight, to inspire, and to support the ongoing work that many of your sites and other sites across the country are undertaking. So in the session today, we're going to give a brief overview or a summary of the courses themselves, what they're intended to do, how they are pulled together, and then we'll give you some navigation tools, how to get into the courses, what to look for, how they're laid out, all of that. And then we'll get into some next steps. Together, this information session is going to be very brief. And at the end, we will give you information about how to get in touch with us if any questions at all come up as you get into the courses and start working on them. So, course series basics. The training series, as I mentioned, is made up of 7 interactive online courses. You see them here in front of you, but I'll just do a quick call out. The first one is a basic introduction to probation transformation. The second one was so rich on racial equity that it is now 2 courses. The first one is an introduction to racial equity. The second one is then focusing on racial equity and specifically the role of community partnership in working towards racial equity. Course 3 digs into the adolescent brain and youth development, what we know about that and how that shows up in probation transformation. Course 4 then expands upon that and looks specifically at youth partnership and positive youth justice. We get into family partnership in course 5. In course 6, we delve into an introduction to trauma. And finally, we wrap up with the important role that organizational culture plays in bringing this all to life and sustaining the changes that folks are making on the ground. The course series can be taken in its entirety, or specific courses can be selected for targeted focus. And while the courses are designed to be done in the order shown here that I just went over, that with one course building off the next and echoing what's been mentioned in previous courses, at the same time, they have been designed so that anyone can drop into a particular course and you'll be perfectly fine. You won't feel lost necessarily. The courses are flexibly designed to be completed as self-paced learning, where an individual can go in, take their time, do it in whatever order they want. Again, we recommend the order here, or to do them collaboratively with one or more people and or teams. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But what comes into play here is that everyone working on this, there was a large team working on designing these practitioners, researchers, advocates, young people, family members who've been through the system, and you'll hear all their voices. But together, we decided it was important not just to have standalone courses that are online, you do them and then you move on, but to have a companion notebook that goes along with each course. That is a space where you will see prompts throughout the courses of reflection questions, activities, and a place to post your answers just for you alone. You don't necessarily have to share that with anyone. And then there's a discussion guide for each of the 7 courses as well. And we're really excited about that. That is designed to actually give facilitation activities that people within jurisdictions can do on their own to facilitate and dialogue to facilitate group dialogue about the courses that are really meant to then use the courses as a jumping off point for active planning and implementation of practices and strategies that are tailored to your site. The amount of time it takes to complete each course ranges from about 90 minutes to 2 hours, and obviously every learner is different. So some it can be faster than that, some it can be a little bit more time. Do want to stress here that the courses are designed in a very multimedia way. There are audio clips, video clips, things that you can click on to have more information bubbles come up. So we've designed these with adult learning in mind to keep them engaging. Who are the courses for? So really anyone interested in probation transformation. And I would say anyone interested in juvenile justice reform and transformation as well. While this focuses very much on probation and probation transformation, it is about what everyone would need to do to make that come to life. Judges, attorneys, other partners in this work. And it is relevant to any part of juvenile justice reform that a site would take on. That being said, because of the level of detail of the courses and the types of reflection questions and activities, the courses themselves are primarily designed for probation leaders, supervisors, and staff. Again, just based purely on the level of detail. There are sites that are actively using them with a whole host of other people, and we encourage you to do that as well. So why use the courses? Casey worked incredibly hard to make sure that these courses are pragmatic in nature and that they are about applying strategies that will actually make change on the ground and bring about better outcomes for everyone. So they're designed for learners to go in to learn, to reflect on, and to apply strategies that transform not just the practices and policies, but the culture of juvenile probation. Many of the people who design these courses and the voices you'll hear are probation practitioners talking about what this has meant to them, what they're doing, how they're leading the work, how they're working closely with their staff and their teams on it. And then with the overall purpose here of better and more equitable outcomes for youth, families, and communities. We're excited to hear, as these courses continue to be rolled out and used, how places are using them. They are designed to be used creatively in a whole host of different ways. There is no red tape for people being able to access the courses, use them. You don't have to use them in a specific way, and we invite you to think creatively about what would make the most sense for your site. With that in mind, though, we do think that there are three general ways that the courses can be used. The first is to support systemic change. So not just in one area of practice or policy, but just really full-fledged systemic change across juvenile probation and really taking a lot of these principles and strategies for juvenile justice transformation as a whole. So to do that, what some sites are already doing is to take on the entire training series as a group to really organize what that means. When is everyone going to do each course? When are they going to come together and talk about the courses? How there's some sort of strategic planning effort that says, okay, what are we going to do in response to what we're learning and what we're talking about with each other about? So it is very much an intentional strategic process. Now, another way, very, very useful, and we highly encourage, is that there are sites that may not be ready to take on the entire series. It's 7 courses. It's a time commitment, and there needs to be the capacity and ability to really take the time to do that thoughtfully. If you feel like you're not there yet, it is perfectly fine to focus on an individual course or a smaller number of courses to shift practice in a particular focus area. So, for example, course 4 about youth partnership and positive youth justice. If you really want to dive into what does it mean to lift up youth voice, to work in partnership with young people in a respectful, authentic manner, and to highlight and focus on positive youth development as part of as the central part of your probation transformation efforts, then you can go right to that course and you can always go back to others later. And then finally, to support individual learning, where an individual in a jurisdiction who may not yet be the jurisdiction itself as a whole, may not be taking on the series, can go into these courses and take on what works for them and what they can do within their own role and position. So I'm going to turn it to the wonderful Tara Beener, who is going to tell you a little bit more about how to get into the courses, how to get started, and how to reach out to us if and when questions arise. So I will turn it to Tara.
Thank you, Annie. We are going to take a look at the very, very simple registration process, and then we'll take a look at what you can expect once you log into the actual platform to be able to see the PT Learning Series. So the registration process is very, very simple. You will access the URL that you see listed there on the screen in order to go to the course landing page. At the bottom of the course landing page, you'll see a very simple registration form. It looks just like the one that's here on screen. You'll enter the basic information required in order to register, and then you'll receive an automated email at the email address that you use to register. Once you access that automated email, you'll finish your account setup by setting a password, and then you'll have a username and password in order to get into the system to access your courses. It is very simple, easy to access courses, but you must set up your account in order to get in. Now we'll move on and take a look at what it looks like once you've set up your account. All right, so once you've set up your account and then you've used your username and password to log in, your learning dashboard will look a bit like this. One of the benefits of having your own account is that all of your progress as you work through the courses will be saved to your unique account. So what you're looking at here is just your progress. So once you log in, you will see all the courses that are currently available. As of the time of this recording, courses 1 through 5 are available, so you'll see that here. A couple other things that we want to point out that you'll notice on the dashboard before we dive into a course. One is that you will see an estimated time, and Annie mentioned this just a few moments ago. Each course, we have an estimated time that we anticipate it will take to complete the course, remembering that this is really a range based on the learner, may even vary per learner based on the course. It could be less than this, it could be more. This is just a rough estimate around how long it will take to complete. You'll also notice another detail there that is not meaningful, and that is a due date. There is no due date for these courses provided by the Casey Foundation. There is no expiration date. And so this is just a default setting that the system produces that has no meaning for you, and you should just go by whatever established timelines are provided by your site, jurisdiction, or organization. So you'll notice here the courses that you have yet to complete show at the top. This is a test account, so it shows one course that's already completed down below, but that's just a basic layout of the learning dashboard. In order to access a course, you will just click on the course or the title in order to open it, and you'll be then on the course homepage once that opens for you. You'll notice a couple things about the course homepage. One is it will show you your progress. This is a test account in which a part of this course has already been completed, so you'll notice that it's 20% complete. You'll also see a description of the course, and you'll find links to both the companion notebook and the discussion guide that Annie mentioned before. Now you'll notice that for each, if you were to click on them, it will open as a PDF document, and then you can print them, you can save them, and in the case of the companion notebook, you can actually complete it digitally on your computer after you've downloaded it. You'll also see an outline of the course showing each lesson in the course. And if you've already started, it will also show your progress here along each dot. In order to go into a course, you can either click on a lesson or you can click on the Start or Resume Course button. We'll do that, and then you'll see that same course outline will appear on the left. Each lesson will allow you to move through it. You can jump around, although obviously we recommend that you go through the content in order. Just to show you an example here of some of the interactive content that Annie mentioned, you'll find a combination of text, interactive activities, you'll find questions, you'll find videos, you'll find different media and interactive content. You'll find some elements like this one where there will be information bubbles that you can click on. Sometimes there's text within them, sometimes videos, sometimes audio. You will find questions, some of which require you just to think, some of which require you to do an activity in your companion notebook, but you will see a variety of different activities throughout each lesson. You'll see here as I move, the progress that I mentioned before is tracked here on the side, helping you have a visual representation of where you are in the course. And then skipping down to the bottom, in order to complete a course, Every lesson must be complete, so you'll see an orange check for each lesson once you're completely finished. And then at the very bottom, you'll see each course has a feedback block. We encourage you to submit a survey to help us understand your experience. We use your feedback to improve these courses. And then at the very bottom, there's a knowledge check with just a brief check for understanding. Each course has between 3 and 5 questions that you'll answer in order to complete the course. So at the end there, you'll have a check mark by every lesson. And then once the course is complete, you'll notice on your learning dashboard, and I'll show you this example with the first course that's been completed in this test account, you'll be able to access a certificate of completion for every course that you finish. It will be stored there in your learning account, or you can download and save this PDF to your own computer for each certificate. So that's a brief walkthrough of the system, what to expect in the learning in your learning dashboard once you've entered. We highly encourage you to explore the Getting Started module, which will give you more depth around some of the features that we just took a brief walkthrough on the system to get you oriented to the system. Okay, so now that you've gotten a chance to learn about the courses and you've been able to see what it looks like in the learning account, we just want to give you a couple of next steps and access to contact information for us should you need to reach out. Your next step would be to register if you haven't already in order to access the courses by using that landing page that we just showed you. And if you have questions or you need help, please do reach out to us at pttraining@aecf.org. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks so much.